The Simpsons have dozens of episodes about the future at this point, and each time, the future depicts a grim reality where Bart is a loser, Lisa is stuck in a boring marriage, and Marge is on the verge of leaving Homer. Maybe this time, things will be different. But, considering how consistent the Simpsons are with delivering disappointment, the future for the family might not be so bright.
Let me just say this once. I'm good.
In a surprising turn of event, the Simpson family find their couch and living room covered in bubble wrap, so it makes sense for everyone to satisfyingly pop the bubbles before sitting on the couch. Over the years, Marge is used to dealing with a lot of Homer's antics, but she still gets worried when Homer is not sleeping next to her in the morning. There are only two things Homer could be doing. He's either drinking or eating, and this time, Marge finds the entire house a complete mess because Homer has been eating like a pig the entire night. Marge tells Homer to go easy on his body, but the man is convinced he still has a few good years left in him. When Homer sees Marge so disappointed, he decides to make it up to her by promising to switch to a healthy life. But as soon as Homer tries to climb the stairs, his unhealthy heart can no longer keep up, and Homer barely manages to push out his last breaths as he falls to his death.
All that's left are clever last words.
Surprisingly, there are a good number of people present at Homer's funeral. He may have been a dumbass, but he was still beloved. As Marge puts up with Moe trying to hit on her, the local nerd, Frink, barges into the church and reveals that he created a perfect clone of Homer. Marge is glad to see her husband again. According to Frink, the clone has every memory, thought, and characteristic of the real Homer. Marge and the kids are excited to see Homer again, and the clone really does fill the Homer-shaped void in everyone's life.
Oh, Dad, you're back! Just in time for my recital!
Somebody kill me.
This time, Marge warns Homer to live a careful life and not to test the limits of his crusty-ass old body. But as soon as Homer finds out that Marge made potato salad for the funeral, it's already over for him. It doesn't take long for the clone to overindulge in the hearty dish, and soon the family is attending another funeral for the dead clone. However, once again, Frink has created a Homer clone, and the new Homer barges in, completely sure that he can never die. Over the years, Marge and the kids have to put up the painful ordeal of watching Homer's clones dying over and over again. Since the clones are perfect, they never learn a lesson, and the man's natural stupidity ends up killing him. 30 years are spent in this absurd manner. And once more, Marge and the kids are attending a funeral for Homer.
Beloved father, precious memories, local character, etc. Okay, we're ready for the crematorium, Bart.
However, this time, Frink does not have a proper clone for Homer. He used up all of his clones trying to revive a dumb man, and now Frink can only bring back Homer through the use of a flash drive. Homer's consciousness now lives within a screen, and this might be the best way to make sure that the man lives forever. Marge, on the other hand, is fed up, even though she takes the disembodied Homer back home. Seeing him in such a state makes Marge question her life choices.
After 35 years of wifely obedience, I'm married to a face on a screen.
Even Lisa is not doing too good with her husband. It seems like Milhouse is a complete bore, and Lisa has no intention of speaking to him. He just doesn't understand what Lisa is up to all day, and now it's getting really tiring. Marge also witnesses her digital husband almost dying from eating once more, and now she has truly reached her limit. Instead of helping Homer, Marge orders the man to live with his no-good son for a few days.
No. Don't pull me out before you click eject. That hurts like a mother.
Since Bart lives in his old elementary school, he has no choice but to boot up Homer on an old screen. Bart also has to take his kids back to his ex-wife. She is currently dating a weird alien named Jerry, and Bart is not comfortable with that. Seeing his ex-wife with her new boyfriend makes Bart feel super depressed. Even in the future, he has nothing going on for him, and Bart hopes to turn towards his father for some paternal wisdom. But everything is completely pointless in Bart's future.
Dad, if I ever needed fatherly wisdom, it's now.
Later on, Bart is at work trying to take care of dinosaurs, but he is completely distracted. He misses his kids and ex-wife too much. Meanwhile, Lisa volunteers to give out vegan brains at a zombie rescue facility. But her work is disturbed by Milhouse. Lisa is extremely annoyed to see her boring husband pestering her, and it doesn't take long for Milhouse to make matters worse by offending a zombie and getting bitten by the monster. As Lisa deals with this new headache, Bart tries to make a little progress as well. Later at night, Bart goes to a club with Nelson, but he has no charisma at all. He somehow ends up making himself look like a fool, and then gets kicked out of the club for being a buzzkill. Bart now feels completely alienated by the world, and he tries to make himself feel better through the one thing he was good at: skateboarding.
One, please.
As Bart embarks on his depression night stroll, he comes across a shady-looking establishment that offers to help desperate losers like him, apparently through the use of a strange machine. Bart can get over his divorce and turn into a new man. It only takes one press of a button, and Bart is cured. This might be the breakthrough that Bart is hoping will change his life. Meanwhile, Lisa takes Milhouse for his anti-zombie injections, even though he is not entirely cured. The injections are stated to start working soon. Bart is also seeing a lot more hope in his life. He is already sleeping with other women, and he doesn't seem embarrassed by his living situation. Bart's new life is just him sleeping with countless women. It's not really healthy progress, but it helps keep him distracted from his miserable life. Lisa has also found a good distraction from her own failing marriage. It seems like Milhouse being a zombie has made him more interesting. And now, Lisa actually finds her husband attractive. In this entire mess, Marge is the only one who still hasn't made up her mind about Homer. She hasn't seen the man in days, and when Bart offers to hook up Homer to the TV, Marge briefly gets excited. Bart knows that his mother misses Homer, but she's also on the fence about getting together with a man who keeps repeating the same mistakes over and over again. Marge and Homer stay separated for a longer period of time, and soon, Bart informs Homer of his new body arriving in the mail. It's not as good as the clones, but at least now Homer can walk around on his own and embarrass himself in real time.
Hey, where's my junk? Oh. Whew.
Bart is also surprised to see his kids visiting him once more, and he learns that his ex-wife has left the alien. In fact, Bart's ex-wife now finds him a lot more mature, and she is willing to spend more time with him. The two of them go to a fancy restaurant, and for the first time in years, Bart's ex-wife doesn't look at him with disgust. The two of them decide to speak with the kids, and announce that they are officially getting back together. Bart now lives with his ex-wife, and he spends most of his time pretending to look after the kids. When he's not at home, Bart is at work bullying dinosaurs and making a fool out of the extinct species.
Well, now that you're up, you can do your juggling act.
Over time, Bart starts growing tired of his ex-wife as well, and it seems that, just like Lisa, Bart married someone very boring, and now he is starting to lose interest once more. It doesn't take long for Bart to get into a heated argument with his ex-wife, and soon finds his way over to Moe's. Lisa is there as well, drinking her worries away. It looks like the decision to make Milhouse normal again is weighing on her mind, because the zombie husband is just much better than the regular version. Hearing her kids talking about their awkward marriages makes Marge realize how much of a rookie Bart and Lisa are. They haven't truly experienced a rough marriage at all, whereas Marge wasted good years of her life trying to delude herself into thinking that marrying Homer was the right choice. However, despite everything, Marge decides to join Homer, and she uploads her unconscious into the TV screen as well. Instead of living a digital life together, Homer's consciousness ends up eating Marge entirely, and she happily accepts this fate as her kids and Moe watch on in horror.
I can't tell if that was love, suicide, or a really boring video game.
Later on, Lisa makes the difficult situation and brings back her normal husband. Now that Milhouse is no longer a zombie, Lisa once again finds him annoying. Bart also decides to truly break up with his ex-wife, but this time he doesn't care at all. Bart seems to be completely over his toxic ex-wife, and as soon as he starts to feel content, the weird procedure that Bart signed up for comes to an end as well. It turns out that everything that Bart experienced so far was just an elaborate vision. None of it really happened, but it was still real enough to help Bart move on from his divorce. Now, Marge is in love with a robot version of Homer who seems much better, and Lisa is happy that her husband is still a zombie, because there is no such thing as an anti-zombie injection in the real world. However, there are still some things that would have been better off as a false memory.
And I was a false memory too.
No, you were real.
Oh, shucks.
This was a very weird but funny episode, just like the time Bart went into a coma. If you want to know what happens, watch this video next, but not before you smash those like and subscribe buttons.